Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and this beautiful lady, Deshauna, right next to me is now the new Miss USA 2016. She's wearing this hat. She can prove it
I
too.
can prove it.
We're sitting down right after her winning the title, and we're talking all about it and her exciting year ahead, so check it out. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. All right, Deshauna, so how does a 17-year-old who enlisted in the military from DC end up becoming Miss USA? Walk me through this whole journey.
Well, I made a commitment to the United States Army when I was 17 years old by entering the ROTC program at my alma mater, and I commissioned as an officer in 2011. How it all came about with the military is my family, my father, mother, sister, brother are all Army. And it's just been a passion. It's been something that's been engraved in us in our childhood. And now you have all of us that have served the nation. I'm the only one left, and I'm the only one that decided to go the officer route, and they never let me forget that. But it's just been awesome up to this point, and the feedback that I've received and everyone's support has really been awesome.
How do you go back after being Miss USA? You
You know,
can't
where
go
do you go
back.
from
You
here? It's
can
a
well, you go
question.
up is where you go. But
Absolutely.
how insane has this been? They obviously announced you're Miss USA. What's going through your head? What is that moment like?
Oh, that moment was very surreal. I got so emotional. I started thinking about the journey and all the things that I've been through up until that point to lead me to the Miss USA stage. And I was standing there with Chelsea, Miss Hawaii USA, and she's just a doll. She's so sweet and so amazing and genuine. And I was looking like, man, how did I beat her? Like, she's so beautiful. She's so amazing. And knowing that there were 51 contestants that all wanted this position, so I felt flattered that the judges believed that I'd be the best candidate for it. So I'm so flattered and honored to even be wearing this sash.
I love your humility, by the
Oh,
way.
thank
Do you
you.
walk into that contest and think, all right, I've got this? Or do you have that same humility and you're like, oh, whatever happens, happens?
I really feel like it's best with pageantry to always humble yourself and always remain understanding because pageants are extremely unpredictable. So, as much as I'd love to walk into the competition thinking, okay, I've got this, it's really unrealistic because there's no way to be able to predict who's going to win. So, I really just walk in saying that no matter how far I make it, no matter whether I win or first runner up, second runner up, or even if I don't even place, I'm just happy to be standing on this stage and I'm going to do the best thing that I can in representation for the District of Columbia.
Last night, we had such an incredible night. A glass ceiling was broken. You also
Yeah.
broke a glass ceiling. One was Hillary Clinton, but you also broke one. You're the first winner from the military to win, which is amazing.
Thank
Because you
you.
look at you and you're like, how is this person in the military? And it's like, meanwhile, you'd kick my ass. But talk to me about being able to break that glass ceiling because you are now going to be a role model for millions of young women everywhere. What does that mean to you, and what do you hope to project as a role model?
Well, what I want to make sure is I want to inspire everyone. This is just goes to show the diversity of the women that come together in pageants. We all have very unique backgrounds, and mine might have been the most unique or the most relatable in terms of me being a soldier. And I think that just shows that the Miss Universe organization is very open to new things, new types of women. And I just want to inspire women and men around the world to chase their dreams, to never feel limited just because of their religion or their race or their gender, whatever their background is. That if you continue to fight for what you want, your dreams will absolutely come true.
What was the reaction from your fellow soldiers? I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, oh my God, Deshauna's Miss USA. Like, what was happening? Like, text calls. What was going on?
Well, after I was crowned, I was away from my phone for about 2 hours. And when I got back to my phone, I had well over 200 missed text messages, phone calls. I mean, my phone went crazy, and a lot of them were my soldiers. My unit in particular who knew that I would be competing for Miss USA, but old units that I've worked in and other soldiers had no idea. And really, the Army in general didn't know about it, but obviously they found out very quickly because they did an awesome press release on me yesterday, actually. So the support has been amazing, and the good thing about being a citizen soldier, that's what you call a reservist. The good thing about being a citizen soldier is that the Army pushes you to get out there and chase your dreams. We only need you for 2 days a month. That's all we need. 2 days a month and 2 weeks out of the year. And everything else, we want you to continue to do what you're doing, continue to chase those goals. So they called me actually USARC, which is United States Army Reserve Command called me as soon as I won or that next day, and they said, wow, this is awesome. You know, we want to get together with your public relations team and see if we can use you, you know, show them that there's so many other options. You don't have to be active duty to serve this country. You can have the opportunity to chase your dreams and still serve your country at the same time.
As Miss USA, you have a year ahead that's going to be just ridiculous. But part of that's going to be philanthropic. What do you hope to accomplish on the philanthropy side?
On the philanthropy side, definitely just going to be pushing my platform. Definitely going to be making sure that people understand that our soldiers need to be taken care of. Our veterans need to be taken care of. I definitely aspire to create an organization sometime in the future that focuses specifically on counseling and psychiatric care for our military veterans that are suffering from PTSD. So that's something that's going to be in the forefront, something to think about later on, but it's definitely something I aspire to do at some point.
What is it like being a gorgeous female in the Army? I mean, look at me. I'm like 6'2" and goofy. I'm like this goofy Jewish boy. Can you imagine me in the Army? I'd be like hazed and thrown out. What was it like going through that process as a female in the military and becoming a leader and a commander of your unit?
Well, I wouldn't say it was difficult. I know that after my question and answer, some people may have seemed like, wow, I don't know, the Army is so male dominated. They hate women. I don't want anyone to ever think that that's what I meant. I just want people to know that there are going to be situations where you're discriminated against or you're looked at as if you're weaker because you're a woman. So I've definitely run into my fair share of situations where not only because I'm a woman, but I'm a very small and petite-sized woman, people just assume that I'm a little bit on the weaker side. I may not be able to do a rec march or do the boot camp or go through the obstacle course, and that's okay. They find out very quickly that that's not true.
I can kick your butt. I can kick your butt very quickly.
They find out very quickly that that's not the case, and I try to make sure that the ladies know that when we're in uniform that we behave ourselves, we carry ourselves with the utmost respect, and that we understand that we kind of have a leg down in this whole fight to equality and all these other things in terms of even being promoted against a man or, you know, gaining this command position. So I worked extra hard, and out of all the lieutenants in my battalion, they decided that I would be a great representation for the command position that I was chosen for 2 years ago. Unfortunately, my tenure will be up soon. I will be releasing my command in September, but it's been an awesome time to be able to say that I command a unit that I have soldiers that work under me.
Your roommate is Miss Universe. I love Pia.
Yes.
Pia is the sweetest, by
She's
the way.
amazing.
Is it going to be like, I'm curious, like obviously you have to go through with Army training, like make your bed and all that stuff that we always see on TV. Does that apply to home life? Like, are there any weird, like funky Army habits that come into home life?
No, well, I wouldn't say so. No, I think that when I first got out of college, I was still very much in that ROTC mindset where, okay, I need to be up at 5 a.m. for PT and I need to do this and I need to do that. But now that it's become just a 2-day-a-month thing, I'm more citizen or civilian than I am Army in a way. I definitely still have that aspect of my life, but as far as how it impacts me on the day-to-day, it doesn't impact the household, like making my bed all tight and taking the nickel and making sure it pops up. That would be awesome if you like
ran around and you're like, Pia, there is something there. Or something. I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be so cool. But no, I'm very relaxed outside the military atmosphere, so I'm pretty relaxed.
You're going to get the opportunity to meet some of the coolest people on the planet over the next
So
year.
excited.
I asked Pia this when I interviewed her here. Your 1 or 2 dream people that you would love to meet. Hers was Drake, so you can't use
Oh,
Drake.
really? Hers was Drake?
Hers was
Oh, well,
Drake.
that's not fair.
And but I didn't get it. I was like, it was funny. My producer.
That's funny.
I was like, Drake, really? Of all people, everyone, I figure would say Leo or something else. But who is your 1 or 2 people?
Oh gosh. Well, this might be a little bit. Well, President Barack Obama is one. Does it? Wait, is this the entertainment industry?
No, anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Obama's a great one.
Okay, so President Barack Obama is one. And
this is why you won Miss USA.
oh yeah,
Answers
right?
like that.
Very patriotic. And then the second one would probably be, it's either Sanaa Lathan or Kerry Washington. So I would say 3.
And they're both sweethearts, by the way.
Oh, have you met them?
I've interviewed everybody. I just
Oh,
interviewed Carrie for
wow.
confirmation like a month and a half ago. She's the nicest woman.
Oh.
And talk about another one breaking barriers.
Yeah,
and
she is.
Sana's awesome too, and she's phenomenal. I was just watching Love and Basketball. Funny enough.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So when you look at everything that has happened so far, what's the accomplishment you're most proud of?
The accomplishment is just winning Miss USA, and you know, I take that back. I don't want to say that that's the accomplishment, because if I had not won, I still inspired a lot of people just by being on that stage. So I think that's the biggest accomplishment, is the people that I inspired just by standing up there and saying the things that I said.
Do you look at this opportunity as a life-changing for the next 5, 10, 15 years? How has your mind been altered? And it's obviously been such a crazy media week for you since you won, but has it altered in terms of, all right, this is a direction I saw my life going, but now that this has happened, there's a new direction, and what would that direction be?
So now I've always said that all things are possible, but now I really believe that all things are possible, because I'm sitting here as Miss USA. So, I mean, I definitely have always seen myself as an actress, low key. I've always seen myself as an actress. I did work in the government. I was very confined to my cubicle, and that's okay. But I did feel always like I feel like I should be doing more than this. Like, this isn't supposed to be my life. So now that I'm Miss USA, I do recognize that I feel like I'm meant to be doing something else. So I definitely want to veer into the entertainment industry and see what happens from there. But I think that this is definitely the biggest stepping stone to that dream.
You're awesome. That's all I can tell you.
you.
When you answered that, I knew you had won when you answered the military question.
Aw.
Did you have in your head, and I have friends who are former pageant participants or winners, and they were literally like live Facebooking and live tweeting everything. And as soon as you answered that question, everybody's like, Miss DC won, Miss DC won. Did you have any inkling at that point? You're going to give me the humble answer, no. But did you have any inkling at that point? I may have sewn this whole thing up.
You know, I did have an inkling, but I wasn't going to allow myself to believe it, because you never want to say, I know I've got this, I know I won, because you'll be very disappointed most of the time. I mean, if you think about it, you have less than a 2% chance of winning Miss USA.
It's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Just to get to that level.
Just to get to that
And then
level.
the odds are that small of winning.
That small. So I'm a pretty much a math girl, data girl, and I know the chances percentage wise. And I'm like, don't start thinking that, because after that I was about to get a little bit cocky, like, okay, I might have this down, you know?
High-fiving people backstage.
Yeah,
I got
like,
this.
This is done. Like,
you
we're
guys
about
could
to
go
end
home.
right now.
Miss Hawaii, good luck going back to Maui.
Exactly. I was gonna do that, but I'm like, no, Deshauna, humble yourself. Thank the heavens that you made it that far, and no matter what happens, if you win or if you don't, everything's going to be just fine. You have accomplished so much, and I didn't know I won until they said duh in District of Columbia. Up before that, I had no idea, and I wouldn't allow myself to believe that I won until I could hear it. I needed proof.
You're the third person from DC. That's got to be pretty cool, too,
Yeah.
representing DC. We were just talking about DC before we got started. I'm like, that city's blowing up. What does it mean for you to represent the District of Columbia and have won?
It means so much because I'm going against states like Texas, California,
Like
Florida,
a gajillion people.
where they have 100 contestants. Whereas when I competed in DC, I went against 15 girls. So in terms of the amount of contestants that you're going against, it's a lot smaller. So people look, I don't want to say they don't look at DC as bringing in very much competition because the amount of girls that we compete against. What they don't realize is that these 15 girls are the most educated, beautiful, and genuine girls to ever touch the stage in Washington, D.C. So I'm still going against serious competition. I think it proves that, it doesn't really matter how many girls you go against. It doesn't matter where you're from, that if you have the right person, that right contestant, anyone can be a winner at Miss USA.
Media Week is the best. You've gotten to sit down with everybody from Robin Roberts to Kelly, and what's been the coolest moment so far? Besides sitting here with me, of course.
Oh, yeah. Besides sitting here with you.
You could say that too, no, but what's been the coolest moment?
Well, I had the opportunity to meet AJ from 106 in Park.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I'm on Red Carpet Stage. It's my buddy.
He is so awesome.
AJ Calloway's the best. We
And
love
I had
you,
no
AJ.
idea he was going to be there.
Oh, he's cool,
And
dude.
as soon as he turned the corner, I said, oh, my gosh. And he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, I'm only standing next to one of the best hosts of 106 in Park. Like, I was a complete fan of yours when I was a little bit younger. And, it's great to still see you doing amazing things. I mean, I've had a good conversation.
He looks a lot different without the dreads
Yeah, he
now.
looks very different without the dreads.
And he's married with kids.
Oh, awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, and we were talking about Howard University, and he spent some time in D.C., so he's a really good guy. And I definitely thought that he was the shocker of the day yesterday in particular. So
I've never heard that one. Next time I see him, I'm going to be like, dude, you came up in conversation.
Yeah, like Miss USA
AJ's the
thought you were
best.
awesome. Yeah, if you can let him know. I told him I really thought he was great, but you can remind him. Miss USA thought you were really cool.
Well, I think you're great, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I couldn't think, I mean, you seem beautiful inside and out, so
Thank you.
congratulations on such a wonderful title. Next year for this young lady is going to be incredible, so check it out.
Awesome.